Speaking of giving yourself a little grace and a little intentional time, Sunday was Mother's Day.
Sunday was Mother's Day. Did you call your mom? I'm so sorry. Ah, God.
Welcome back to Secondhand Therapy. We remind you that we are not therapists. We are not experts. We're just two dumb guys going through it, sharing what we're doing, hoping it helps.
This is not a substitute for therapy. This is not professional advice in any way.
However, we do have a Patreon page.
We do have a Patreon page.
Yeah, and it's full of bonus clips, not episodes, bonus clips. But you can access episodes a week early. And sometimes even there's a couple episodes that are not on the public feed. They're only available on Patreon. So if you want to see those, you have to join our Patreon. Merch discounts, all kinds of crazy stuff.
Did you see, we did the $1 bonus thing? Somebody canceled that.
Somebody canceled
$1. They couldn't pay $1 a month.
They couldn't give us a McChicken sandwich in $19.99.
Yeah, $12 a year. Well, they were like, "Hey, I love the podcast. Not worth that. You're not worth $1 a month."
Well,
so if you're listening, fuck you.
No.
Here's the episode.
No.
$1?
Be nice.
I am being nice. Fuck you. That's nice. Here's the episode. Hope you enjoy it, you cheap fuck. Because I'm not a social media guy.
You're not?
I'm not. You knew this. Don't be surprised. Here's
so
what I don't need to be, and that's patronized on the podcast. Now, not an Instagram guy. Here's the thing. I'm going to make a statement for the both of us.
Okay. I guess.
We are a pro-Palestine, free Palestine podcast. This household is free Palestine household.
Yeah, that's right.
And I've been thinking about my Instagram, and the people that know me know my beliefs.
Right.
Very, very much anti-genocide. Not a hot take, I don't feel. Some people might find that to be a hot take. Now.
Yeah.
But I've been thinking lately, should I be posting more? I don't even know if it's like pro-Palestine or if it's just like informational, like the genocide that is happening.
Just political in general.
Should I be sharing things?
Yeah.
And that's what I talked about in therapy this week. She asked me what would be the motivation for sharing. And I think it would be that I just want to feel like I'm doing something to help. And that led me into this question of, does it do anything? Just because I have an Instagram and I have X amount of followers, does that mean I have a voice? Like, does me posting things, does it do anything? Does sharing the information do anything? And I don't know the answer. What do you think?
Well, there's a big controversy happening right now. A lot of these celebrities are getting blocked and canceled because they're not using their voice. But obviously, we don't have 10 million followers. Yeah. We're not Lizzo.
Yeah. I blocked her recently.
Did you?
Yeah. Bro, I blocked Lizzo,
really?
Taylor Swift, Selena Gomez, Michael Rappaport. Bro, let me be honest with you. I gave my phone to my girl. I said, hey, block whoever. Because she's the digital guillotine or whatever they're calling it? Yeah.
Yeah.
She went through. She did it. So I blocked a lot of motherfuckers, and got to tell you, I'm into it.
Yeah?
I saw a headline that Taylor Swift lost 5 million followers overnight.
Now, does this feel like you're doing something?
Talking about it right now?
No. I mean, blocking those celebrities. Does that feel like you're creating the change that maybe you were wanting to create with speaking up about Palestine?
I don't know. I definitely did a thing. I blocked somebody.
I did a thing.
And the algorithm, I've noticed that as soon as I block those people, all of the ads on my Instagram feed are those people's products. Skims, Rare Beauty, whatever Hailey Bieber's fucking makeup thing. It's all their shit. So then I block those companies and report those. So I can tell the algorithm still wants me to see their shit because they're big accounts and I'm sure they pay for boosting and stuff. So I think it does something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I believe in celebrities using their power and voice and that kind of thing. I don't know about smaller accounts. I don't know. I mean, I guess it does because when I go through my feed, a lot of my friends are posting about it, and that's how I'm getting my not all my updates, but a lot of my updates and stuff.
Yeah.
I have recently, not recently, back in February, I stopped listening to the news in the morning. I used to be a big NPR person. I would listen to Up First every morning, and I would listen to fucking, The Daily and all those things. But it just began to wear on my mental health, like starting my day every day with the never-ending war in Ukraine and this new genocide that we're doing and like all these things, like, and now it's Trump versus Biden again. And
let's be clear, we're not doing the genocide. We're just funding it.
Yeah. And so
we're just paying for it.
Yeah, we're just paying for it. It's great. Yeah.
So fucking disgusting.
Yeah. So I was feeling really powerless.
Yeah.
I just had a big conversation with somebody about this. They're on the opposite side. And I was telling them that I think that a lot of people are feeling powerless right now because it doesn't seem like the things they're supposed to be working aren't working.
Yeah.
Even the peaceful protests don't work. You're looting stores. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
You're not voting or you're voting. It doesn't fucking work.
Yeah.
We still have term limits, all these things. We're still stuck with Trump and Biden, all these things. And then you storm the Capitol. Hey, that didn't work. So, like, what are we supposed to do? And back to your question of like, okay, now we blocked a bunch of celebrities and I post about it on my feed. Like, is that what we're supposed to? Like, what works? What is it? Maybe it's a combination of all those things, but it doesn't feel that way. I'm feeling very powerless.
Yeah. It feels like the system that they designed is working the way it was supposed to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are the workforce. We work. We feed into the bigger picture of the people that control us.
Yeah. It's
a broken system. America is a scam, dude. It's the biggest fucking lie.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Anyway.
I stopped engaging in politics and posting about politics a few years ago. I used to do it all the time. I was really into it. Even as recently as like during the pandemic, I was like posting and trying to change hearts and minds and do my part and having hard conversations with people. And, we were doing a live show for many years where we were trying to meet in the middle with people on both sides and start conversations. And yeah, it goes back to that feeling powerless. Like we have turned into just a lot of people talking at each other and nobody's talking with each other. And it's just noise right now. And everybody with a phone has a voice. Yeah. The fucking guy in his car yelling at you. Yeah. It has the same power as the person you're watching on the evening news. Like we're just scrolling and every 7 seconds you're getting a new opinion. Yeah. I've also I've tried to really cut down on TikTok and especially in the mornings because not even a political thing. It just like whatever gets into your brain first thing in the morning really changes your fucking day. Yeah. It's exhausting.
So anyway, talked about that. Yeah. And like, do I have a voice? If I have a voice, what I want to do. And that kind of led into like if I had the means, if I had the money I needed to have and the time I wanted to have, and I could design my life to be whatever I wanted it to be, what would that look like? Like, would I be at a protest every day? Do I think that does something? That kind of thing. And that was a weird question. Like, if I could do whatever I want with my time, like the scenario we came up with was like, if the podcast is doing well enough that it pays all my bills, we have a producer or somebody that does the editing and posting. Like, all we have to do is show up and record, go to therapy and record. All we are is talent. What would my life look like? And I thought about it, as I do. I think too much. Yeah, and I thought it would, like, I would want to spend a decent amount of time doing philanthropy. Like, I would love to volunteer at an animal shelter, like 1 or 2 days a week. And then I was talking about how I have a lot of compassion and empathy for loneliness and that feeling of regret when you've wasted time. Because I've had times in my life where I go to work, I come home, watch TV, go to bed. Get up, go to work, come home, watch TV. And I look and like a year has gone by.
Yeah.
And I have that realization of like, what the a fucking year of this? How did that happen? And I was thinking about that. And I know how defeating and terrible that feels to realize it now. And that kind of led me to, I think I'd like to like volunteer at like an old folks home, because I'm sure there's loneliness in that. And I'm sure there are people in those homes that are near the end of their life and they look back and like, what the fuck did I do with my life?
Yeah.
And I have a lot of compassion and empathy for that. So like, I'd like to volunteer in an old folks home, just fucking hang out and do whatever they want.
Yeah.
I like to be one of those people that like, I'm also a very staunch believer that a truly great meal is one of the best parts of life. Like oh man, like I would love to like once a week, like make a meal, like a 3-hour, like everything from scratch, learn how to make a thing and do that. Or like fucking learn how to bake bread, even if I just give it away to people. I don't know. Like, I think that's what I want my life to look like. And then I'm like, okay, if all that happens, if all that stuff with the podcast one day happens, is that what I end up doing? Or do I become some asshole? That right. I sleep till 10. I go to the gym for an hour. I go have a $60 smoothie. I go play golf. And then I fucking, go run an errand and come home. Like, am I that kind of asshole who just like floats through life with no worries? And I'd like to think I'd be the first one.
Would it be wrong if you were a mixture of both?
Probably not. I think if you have a good balance, but I also think man, fuck, I love to be lazy. God damn, there are a few things I like to do more than doing nothing. Yeah. I fucking love it. So I don't know. I would love to like be the person that does do philanthropy a few times a week and like does like make a great meal and like learn to appreciate the creation and things. Maybe like spends a day painting, or like I finally do go try pottery.
Yeah. What's stopping you from implementing some of these things?
Man, I like to be lazy. Yeah. You're not listening?
Besides that.
Yeah. Honestly, I have really been trying to find a pottery class. They're so expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't make it make sense right now. So I am going to try to find some like paint and stuff, and maybe some like fucking canvases or something on LinkedIn, or not LinkedIn, OfferUp or Craigslist or something. Yeah. To get like some cheap art supplies so I can, I do, because I need, what the fuck is stopping me?
Yeah, or like making a meal once a week or even once a month.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I do a good steak. Yeah. Make a nice steak.
Make a nice steak.
I got that reverse sear on the ribeye. But yeah, all that shit. Yeah, what's stopping me?
Yeah.
This podcast is a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
I do say there's a lot of joy in like cooking for people though. Whenever I make like my little crock pot chicken or like my banana nut bread, stuff like that, like I really enjoy doing that for it's never for me. I'm not like you know that. Like I never eat the fucking chicken and stuff. I'll have like a piece of it or something. But like that brings me joy. There's something about making something that you can share.
Yeah. And it's kind of, even you look back at the pandemic and like, what was everybody doing? Painting, baking bread, getting groceries for each other. Like that is the root of human essence, is like your community and creating. Mm-hmm. That's what we are hardwired to do. Yeah. Love each other and create things. And we have fucking lost sight of that, man. And it bums me out. Yeah. It bums me the fuck out, dude. Yeah. I don't know. That led us, we talked about purpose.
Are you feeling powerless or small, or how does that?
I've always felt small. Yeah. I've always felt insignificant.
Because these are pretty grand ideas.
Are they?
Yeah, genocide and
genocide. Yeah,
and everything else. Yeah, these are big world, out of your kind of hands problems.
Yeah, I don't know that there's anything in my life that I can do to stop a genocide. I don't know that. That's why, like I think we talked about with Gabby, like, you know, my girl and I, we go do the water drop on Skid Row. Yeah. Like, there might not be anything I can do to stop the genocide that's happening, but I can damn sure go hand water to 200 homeless people. Yeah. Like, I can directly impact some people in my community. And I try to reframe it like that is in my control and I can do it. Yeah. And yeah, I don't know, man. I've always kind of felt as individuals we're insignificant. This planet is insignificant, man. We don't fucking matter.
How do you feel about when people come together, though, for the greater good? Do you think there's power in that?
Yeah, if it can happen.
Yeah.
We're so divided. What's the number one strategy to control people? It's divide and conquer. Yeah. And the government has done that to us. Republican and Democrat, it's not real. Yeah. It's a way to split us up so we're fighting with each other while they go do all their shit. Yeah. If we could just get on the same fucking team. Yeah. But we can't do it because everybody has to be right. Yeah. Everybody has to be right.
Yeah. The conversation I was having, and they brought it up, that they said that things were so different. It used to be way easier back in the day that, you know, they were bringing up old times. And they were saying that they were blaming it on like media in general about what they're feeding us, which of course, but I brought up a point, which was what I was talking about earlier, how I think a lot of us forget that a lot of this is created because everybody has a voice now. Literally everybody has a fucking TV studio in their pocket. Mm-hmm. And they are able to just put out whatever they want. Yeah. And that's how loud it's getting is everybody's just talking at once right now. And I think that's an issue that we forget about when we're talking about this division and everything like that. It's because, people are finding their communities, and sometimes it's great online. Sometimes you find people you believe the same things, you align politically and all these things. And this is great. But then also the other side of things is like January 6th, where those people all found each other and they were like, this is a great idea. So it's good and bad. It's open for everybody. And it is dividing us. It is when not everybody needs to be heard.
Yeah. And I also think there's a big problem with people not knowing what they believe. And then they go on their phone and they see a thing and they're like, that makes sense. And they see another thing like, that makes sense. And then they form their beliefs on this regurgitated information that they don't know where it came from. They don't know if it's true, but then they just go spewing it out because they want to feel like they have something to say.
Or included.
Yeah.
People want to feel heard and they want to feel included.
Because they see shit on their phone. They think that's real. They think that's the life. They think that's what the world is doing. That's all fake. It's all a performance. But then you see it and you want to be that. You want to be seen. You're like, damn, this guy said it and I watched it and it has 1 million likes.
Yeah.
That could be me. And it's just like, bro, fucking figure out who you are.
Yeah.
Why? What'd you talk about in therapy? I don't want to do this.
So what did you come around to this? What's the answer to this bigger idea? And
I don't know. It's kind of something I've talked about before in here. Is just finding things that the way my therapist put it was doing things that make you feel glad. And I was like, to me, that's finding things that bring you joy, and like spending time with loved ones, people I care about. Yeah. I'd love to do more philanthropy. I need to. I'd love to do more creating.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of creating. Like, this is a job. I enjoy it. I wouldn't do it if I didn't, but this is a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to spend more time finding things that bring me joy. Maybe, figure out what I think my purpose is.
How important is it to discover this idea of purpose for you?
I don't know yet. I don't think it's going to be a defining thing for me. I think it's going to be more of a sense of direction and belonging more than anything, than a title or a definitive thing.
You feel like you're just free falling?
No. I just think I'd like to have more intention behind the way I spend my time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I really enjoy having a day with no intention.
Yeah.
I'm just doing what I feel like doing. But I think in the bigger picture, I should have more intention with what I want to do with my time, especially my time that I have.
Yeah. I've been thinking about that recently too, because I can't believe I'm 41.
Yeah.
And I keep looking back at like, where did it go? What have I done?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
And what am I going to do? Like, what is important now?
Mm-hmm.
I also have, we've talked about this too. I also have like this invisible clock ticking in me about racing against my father's death. He died right as he was like just a few months into turning 47. So I always think of him as like 46.
Yeah.
And I just turned 41. And for some reason, I'm like, we got 5 years left. What are we doing? Yeah. I'm like, hey, man. No, you don't.
You're going to make it to at least 50.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, you're right. 48? Dude, you're going to be so fucking old. It's going to be obnoxious.
I don't know, man. But yeah, I keep thinking about that. Like, where did it go? And where am I going?
Mm-hmm.
It's been on my mind a lot.
So where are you going?
To buy a gun.
America. You ever been there?
I don't know, man.
Guns and drugs. That's what we do.
It gets overwhelming for me. There's so much that I want to do.
Yeah. And,
well, now with my medication, hopefully I'll get some of it done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I also look at projects too that I've been like wanting to do for years and how I saw myself being involved in them, and that shifted to being like, oh, I've aged out of a couple of those things. Where I'm like, oh, I can't play that part, or I can't be that person, or I don't look or feel like that character anymore, and that's a weird one for me.
You know what acting is, right? You don't got to feel like the character because it's a performance.
Yeah. Handsome 30-year-old man wakes up disheveled in bed, and here's my 41 bald ass like, whoa. Like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you do in therapy this week?
Oh, buddy. Well, speaking of giving yourself a little grace and a little intentional time, Sunday was Mother's Day.
Sunday was Mother's Day. Did you call your mom? I'm so sorry. Ah, God.
You know, if I could quit, I
why? Why do I have to do it? Did you know I was going to do something like that?
No,
I didn't
I
either.
always think you're going to be better than that, but
I
you
know,
always
me too.
disappoint me.
Yeah, and now you're talking like my father. Hey. Okay, go ahead. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it crept up on me. I didn't realize that Sunday was, Mother's Day.
Yeah. Didn't think about it till it happened.
Yeah, and I had plans. I was like, I'm gonna hike. I'm gonna do these things, and I was giving myself a little grace, a little time. I was like, I'm not gonna I'm gonna give myself a free day.
Yeah.
But I do want to hike because that's what I usually do, like on Mom's birthday or my birthday. These kind of events come up. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I need to hike. It recenters me and all those things. And I gotta tell you, frozen all day.
Yeah.
Stuck.
Yeah.
I got dressed and went downstairs to the parking garage 3 separate times and walked to my car and then went, man, fuck that. And then immediately
to go hiking?
To go hiking, to go for a walk, to get food. 3 separate times I went down there to be like, all right, let's go.
Couldn't do it.
Got dressed, got shoot,
yeah.
Laced up the shoes, filled up the water bottle, like fucking let's go.
Did you get in the car?
No, not once. Couldn't even open the door.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And every time I would come back upstairs and I go, you know what? That's okay.
It is.
Give yourself some time, whatever.
Good for you.
And then later in the day, I'd be like, come on, man, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Let's go. Especially, I went like...
That grace only lasts so long.
Yeah,
isn't it shitty?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so temporary.
And I went like 8 or 9 hours without eating.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want to make anything.
Yeah,
and
that's also normal. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. And I was just like, I have to feed myself.
Yeah.
I need food. And so...
I went 8 or 9 hours without eating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people do that. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not intermittent fasting or anything.
Also, yeah, normal. Yeah. Go ahead.
Anyway, you think people go 9 hours without eating?
For sure. You know what sleeping is, right? I know that's not what you're talking about. Yeah, for sure. I think sometimes people will get up, have breakfast at 7, and then not eat again until 4. Yeah. It's not that abnormal.
Well, it is for me.
I know.
Anyway, so I get dressed again to go get food. Can't do it. And I sit out on that balcony. And the sun's going down. Well, the sun's almost down.
Yeah.
And I realized that I hadn't talked to Mom all day.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. And so my therapist asked me too. She said, she goes, when you talk to your mother, is it all in your head or do you say it out loud? I'm like, oh, it's out loud. Mm-hmm. It is like a phone call, And so I sat on the balcony and realized that I hadn't talked to her all day. And so I started talking to her.
What did it feel like when you realized that?
A little guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I was so focused on myself and getting through my day that I didn't think about her. Even though it was all about her. So I sat out there and I was like, oh, I haven't talked to you all day, huh? I was like, is that what your butt hurt about? Is that what's going on here? I was like, you're not going to let me leave the house till I talk to you, huh? I shared with her about things that are going on and things I'm proud of, things I'm not proud of. Some joy, some fear. Talk to Grandma. And then went down to the parking garage and I got in my car and I went and had a little meal and came back. And I was talking to my therapist about it, and she said, because I told her, I was like, I tried to leave several times. Like, I was like, maybe I'll go to the farmer's market. Maybe I'll go for a hike. Maybe I'll go grab lunch at, it's one of my favorite spots is down here. I'm like, maybe I'll go grab lunch there and just treat myself. And she goes, I think you were subconsciously just keeping yourself safe, because all of those places, she's like, what happens at the farmer's market on Mother's Day? What do you think's going on there? Mm-hmm. And I go, probably people out with their moms. And she goes, mm-hmm. And what about brunch on Mother's Day? You think at your favorite brunch spot or lunch spot, like, I go, people taking their mom out to eat. And she's like, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She's like, so you think maybe subconsciously you were protecting yourself and you didn't know it from just witnessing that, being around it. I didn't think about that.
What do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah. If I would have went out to lunch and been surrounded by everybody at their tables laughing and hugging and enjoying their mother, or even arguing with their mother at the table, that hurt.
Yeah.
It hurt real bad. The farmer's market, especially something as unique as that farmer's market that I go to, because like a hike or something like that, my mother could never do. Mm-hmm. She had a lung disease, and she could barely do the 13 stairs we had at the house. But if she were to come visit, I would have taken her over there, walked around with her. But she never came out. Mm-hmm. Grandma never came out. Wayne never came out. None of my family has been here. None of my family knows this part of my life. Ever. I've been out here 15 years. Nobody's seen this side of me. And it's a big part of me. Yeah. So I think it would have fucking wrecked me to go out and see people just having that opportunity.
What do you usually do on Mother's Day?
Usually working. Yeah, I used to be a big draw for Mother's Day. And yeah, because I would do a lot of jokes about mom and that kind of thing. And I had colleges bring me in a few years to do Mother's Day and things like that. So, but usually on those events like my birthday, Mother's Day, her birthday, Christmas, those things, I usually will make food. Ironically, what we were talking about earlier, like I usually will make something that mom used to make, or something I like to make, because that's what mom would do. Mom would cook. Mom would bake. Yeah.